Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular council meeting for Monday, July 13th. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:30. The town of Elk Point respectfully acknowledges we are located on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional and ancestral lands of the First Nations and Métis peoples. We honor their enduring traditions, wisdom, and cultural strength in our communities. And with that, this evening we have a delegation joining us. I'd like to welcome the co-founders, Emil Shopka and Penny Fox of No CO2 Pipelines, Alberta. With that, floor is yours.
Thank you, Kay. Yeah, I assume you got the package we mailed, so that's our introduction. Today it was official. Alberta, Canada, and the Oil Sands Alliance did sign a memorandum of understanding. I guess agreeing to go ahead with the proposed Pathways project. So there's no more speculation on that. It looks like they're serious about it. From our perspective as landowners and people who live here, any way you look at it, this project is a bad idea. This is a CO2 pipeline, not an oil or gas pipeline. CO2 is an asphyxiant and it's toxic, and it comes with a unique set of risks. Secondly, CCS, carbon capture and storage, is really waste disposal. It puts at risk our lives, our land, our water, and we're going to pay for it. So a couple things. In 2020, in a place called Satarsha, Mississippi, almost identical pipe to what's going to be proposed here exploded. And the plume went up for kilometers and it put 49 people in hospital who were rendered unconscious and foaming at the mouth. When the first responders arrived, they were unable to respond because CO2, being an asphyxiant, chokes out combustion engines. So that without electric vehicles, they couldn't access those people. So they literally went out and got electric golf carts, piled them up like cordwood, and hauled them back to the hospital. So included in your package was we've put together a hazard map. So depending on your proximity to the pipeline in the event of a rupture, there's going to be significant health effects, including death. And that's very real. The other thing about that is Satarsha, the modeling done for that was at temperatures, Mississippi temperatures. And so if that event happened here in the wintertime, when the air is considerably colder, I think it would be even more devastating because there's less dissipation of the CO2. So the risk to life for the people along the pipeline is very real. And our second concern is we all have volunteer first responders. So in the event of a pipeline rupture, all of our first responders are going to be people we live with and know, and they're going to have to go out there and react to this. And so, we've asked industry about safety plans and, they haven't approached either the town or the county of St. Paul. There's been zero information on that. So I'm assuming now that they've signed the MOU, we'll be starting to get some answers to them. Concern for those people who live there, concern to the first responders. The other concern is that carbon dioxide, this is not the CO2 in your soda stream, okay? It's coming down, being scrubbed post-industry, so it's going to be full of all kinds of contaminants and nasty organic cancer-causing chemicals. And that is going to come down the pipeline and be injected theoretically as deep as 2 kilometers underground, permanent. So they're talking doing this for decades. So this concept that this is storage, I think is misleading. This is waste disposal. We are about to become the world's biggest carbon dioxide waste disposal project in the world. And in theory, it involves an area 3 times the size of PEI. So from Frontenac all the way to Cold Lake, probably south of Vermilion and west, maybe as far as St. Paul. That map was indicated on there. So that's what we expect.
So as Emil said, this project is the world's largest CO2 project. No, that's it. The world's largest. It's 500 kilometers. Goes through numerous communities. I'm an adjacent landowner, so that first map that you saw is the map with the details that we were given, and it's going to run. The end of that pipeline runs just south of 646. Because I live 5 kilometers south and it's just across the road from us. So it is, coming down through the county and around. As far as the rupture in the States, we've spoken to the fire chief there. So, I mean, this is not hearsay. This is not just what we got from the newspapers. We've had occasion to speak to him. And he told us his very scary story about what that looks like. So, it's emotional for us because, like Emil says, we know these firefighters. We know them, their neighbors, their family, we love them, and we don't want to see them put into that kind of similar situation.
And I don't want to wake up dead either. Because
True. Well, you might not wake up.
okay, second thing is, it's putting lives at risk. Groundwater.
Yeah.
It absolutely amazes me that this world's biggest project is going to be green lighted with no environmental impact assessment. We have requested one formally and they haven't even extended us the courtesy of a reply. Nobody's talking about environmental impact assessment for the world's biggest CO2 project. Australia, again in your package, they had a project 1/10 the size of ours, and the government not only opposed it, they banned it. So Australia will not be doing any CCS because of their concerns for groundwater. So I don't know what's different about Australia or Canada, but they are not going ahead with it. In the Beaver River watershed alone, there are 33,000 oil and gas wells. So how they can tell us that they're going to inject this stuff and it's going to stay down forever is beyond me. So that's one of my many questions to industry. The second thing is in the last 3 weeks, there's been 4 earthquakes. There was one 2 days ago on Grand Prairie. There was one at Lac La Biche in Gibbons 3 weeks ago. So in the last month, there's been 4 known seismic induced events. And according to the energy regulator, these are known induced, which means they're industry related. And those projects are teeny tiny compared to this. So, we're putting the real risk of seismic events. Maybe this doesn't have the pipeline running in your backyard, but it's going to be underneath your feet. So we have concerns about that. The third thing is industry doesn't want to pay for it. And the government keeps claiming that we are going to have the lowest carbon dioxide emission oil. And that is just not true. These projects have failed everywhere else. None of them have achieved the goals. At best, we think that it's going to reduce the emissions by 15%. So if you double production and you reduce emissions by 15%, how does that make that the lowest CO2 oil in the world? It just doesn't add up to me, okay?
And this moves the CO2. Currently, our understanding is that this CO2 is going to air. It's coming off those factories. It's being emitted through a smokestack and away it goes. They're going to capture that and they're going to run it down the pipeline and they're going to bury it. So they're not using it. They're not cleaning it. They're not recycling it. They're just burying it. So as municipalities, when somebody puts something in your landfill site, it's not gone. It just might become another problem. So they're moving it. It's not storage. They're keeping it there forever.
So we're sitting here as landowners going, we're assuming all the risk to our land, risk to our lives, risk to our water, and they don't want to pay for it. There's no money in this for them. Unless, I think Mickey there, I still don't completely understand it, but they're talking about these carbon credits, where if they pump this stuff down, then they get carbon credits and they can sell them to make money. But there's no money at the end of this. So at this stage, they're talking $20 billion, and that's going to come 75% from both the feds and the province. And we think that's just ludicrous that they would commit that much tax dollars to that. And I don't see any local benefit. We are assuming all the risk. They put ads in the paper, jobs, we're creating jobs. I go, what jobs? Like, you give me $20 billion and I'll create jobs. But what jobs? You're going to have a pipeline come through, probably temporary foreign workers, American-based, none of our local guys. A few guys might get a job as laborers. And then we're gonna have 3 years of the problems that we all know are associated with those pipeline crews. And then they pack up and go. And then what do we have left? And going into the future, like generations down the line, they have no remediation plan. They have no plan for who's gonna cover the ongoing maintenance. There's things like, how do they monitor that that stuff's not leaking? How do they monitor that it's not affecting our groundwater? You know, like, so, you know, we can get very technical, but I think in 10 minutes, we're just trying to give you the, you know, the quick sketch about why this thing is just knuck and futz. Like, if I am wrong, I'm just waiting for someone to buy me a coffee and explain to me why we should be supporting this. And I think the St. Paul St. Paul, our county council was quite concerned about the water aspect. And so I know they had talked about possibly joining forces with the town and maybe reaching out to Barneyville and seeing if they could find some consensus, because if nothing else, you know, water is life, and especially here for us farmers. So, you know, we're basically asking for you at a minimum, you know, sort of to get your own answers to what the benefit to this community is going to be, and perhaps join forces with St. Paul and Bonnyville or whoever else we're going to be talking to, all of them, or at least those that will see us, because not everybody has really invited us or even welcomed in to come and talk to council yet. We're still trying to get through a few doors. So I think St. Paul county council was going to write to try and get their own answers. And then, you know, at a minimum, they were going to demand an environmental impact assessment, because to me, it's absolute insanity that they're going to do this to scale and not even see what the effect is going to be going forward.
We've been 2 years into this. Emil found out about this because our neighbors, landmen, were showing up, making appointments and showing up and talking to landowners about they needed access to their land because there was another pipeline, just another pipeline coming through. And it was Emil that found out in the fall of 2023 that this is not just another pipeline. This is something very different and something very dangerous. So we've, shortly after Emil rented the hall and got some people together and kind of reformed at that point. So we're, like I say, 2 years into this. We have gotten some answers through MLA Scott Sear. He's been the one taking our questions to basically CNRL. It's our understanding that CNRL will own the infrastructure, will own and maintain that pipeline. And then those, they're giving answers back, some of them pretty broad based, but they've had one consultation in St. Paul for 3 to 4 hours, one afternoon in 2024. We haven't seen them since. We know in this last month that they've been spending considerable money on advertising. Just about everywhere we go, we see a Oil Sands Alliance banner about how much jobs they'll create. The CNL rep did come to my house. We have the right as an adjacent landowner to have them come, and he came. He told me that there would not be any more full-time, long-term jobs in St. Paul than what there are now. So when they're saying they're creating these jobs, no doubt, like Emil said, there will be, you know, hundreds of thousands of people employed to clear the land and build the pipe, but then once that's done, they're gone. They also told me that pipeline is expected to last 50 to 60 years.
Yeah.
So what's the benefit? Like, what's the benefit? Why are we becoming the dumping ground for Fort McMurray?
And what do they do with it 50 or 60 years?
Well, that, exactly.
You know
Exactly.
you know what the guy told me at the presentation? Don't worry about it because it's going to turn into a rock. Really? That was the engineers. He dumbed me down and explained it to me that don't worry because that CO2 is going to crystallize and it's going to turn into a rock. You know, after it acidifies the water and leaches out the arsenic and starts leaching out the heavy metal and all those, you know, nasty hydrocarbons that are coming down the line. So I don't see how they call this nation building when it's all American-based companies. Like 80% of the benefit of this is they're all American companies. So we're elbows up and we're rah-rah and we're fighting for Canada. And they're going to squeeze every last drop of juice out of this fruit. And then they're going to walk like they have everywhere else. So, you know, now I'm getting a little. That is near and dear to heart. So if you have questions, I think we're close to time. Happy to answer them. If you have questions down the line, you know, we've got some other groups on board that we can help answer them. You know, what we presented to you, we tried to present it fair and unbiased. Everything we said, we provide you a basis for what our decisions are meaning. I mean, this is going to change going forward. But I mean, I just don't see why this makes no sense to me. And they linked it to the pipelines. Like they can't do the pipelines without this. Well, this is accomplishing nothing except, pissing away for a lot of, I'll put $5 in the jar. A lot of money, a lot of tax dollars for no benefit. I mean, they can do what they want on the pipeline side. This isn't pro oil and gas. This is just a bad idea.
To us, this is a marketing campaign about trying to prove that we're cleaning up our oil. But when we look at the numbers, when we talk to other people, we've done a lot of reading to other people. At the end of this, it's not going to make a tinker's dam worth of difference. So why are we going to spend $20 billion to not really do anything anyway? So, we're confused, we're frustrated, and we're angry because this is our backyard. We want to stay here. We want to live here. We want, to see our communities grow. And yet we feel like there's outside forces there that are like saying, okay, here you go. You've got no choice. This is what's happening. So we're doing an advertising campaign so that our municipalities at least know what's going on. At some point, they're going to come to tell us, they're going to come to your emergency managers. They're going to come to your fire departments. They're going to have water crossings of water lines. They're going to have crossings of roads. Jay, I don't know if they would have anything here, but those are the things that municipalities are responsible for. And municipal councils are responsible for safe and viable communities. So we just wanted to give you the heads up that they're coming, to give you a little bit of information, and we can provide a whole lot more so that when they come, it's just not, okay, whatever, and carry on. That there's questions being asked. They're taken to task for what they've been saying.
Okay. Well, thank you. That was very enlightening. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to share at this time?
No questions. That's still a lot of education even for ourselves. Like it is something new and we've talked about it, but it's always same thing. I think I did a news report in the city. They asked me a question and I said, I'm a very pessimistic person. You can talk to me about it, but until something is happening, it's really nothing. But now they are.
It's real.
Now we know. Now with the questions start coming up to saying, okay, and we are having a joint council meeting, so I would imagine that there may be discussions around that. Not saying for sure, but if you guys have talked to the county council, there may be indications there. So,
Carney was talking about net zero by 2050. And the emissions right now, the technology can scrub 5 to 15%. And I use the example of the tar sands. Okay, I'm old enough to remember that when they started the tar sands, they had no solutions for the tailing ponds. And they told us that technology will catch up and in the future, they're going to magically be able to clean up that water. So here we are 60 years later, and that's an environmental horror. And it's about to double because we still don't have the technology. And so now they're kind of feeding us want us to drink the same Kool-Aid. Well, don't worry, it's 15% now, but by 2040, it's going to be 100%. And I think that's just, I don't want to, maybe a lie is a strong word, but that's very misleading. That's not grounded in reality. And so if I sound pessimistic and, I'm not trusting of those guys, it's because of that. We can handle the truth if we're given the truth. And so, yeah.
So the main thing you guys are recommending is pushing for an environmental impact. Is that the sum total? Like if they did that and they thought and that concluded it was good, would that satisfy fears or are you fairly set that it's
Yes, it's just, what's the good idea in this? Especially in a province where the Alberta regulator, talks about us having the highest standard in the world and they enforce none of them. How can you have 4 earthquakes in 4 weeks in Alberta and everybody's just acting like it means nothing? Like if you're near the epicenter of the earthquake and those places shift, what if your wells go? What if your wells go? And they're going to happen again and again and again. And they said, well, they're going to mitigate it. They're going to advise industry. So they're going to make adjustments. So what adjustments do you make so that you don't cause another earthquake?
The other thing is we understand, again, from the CNRL rep that came to our home, is that this is phase 1. They don't know where phase two is going. So we're assuming it's going down across the Little Red or the Little Red, if it's North Saskatchewan. How far? We don't know. So if this is only part of it, then what happens again? So like that, if that other map, we're looking at that storage area, right, is to miraculously it's going to stop at the Saskatchewan border. Now, how underground that we'll know where that is. But I mean, it's going to go south, right? We're looking at Two Hills. We're looking at all those other communities too. Once that stuff is in the ground, it's not, one issue is the pipeline. The other issue is the storage, is the underground storage. We assume they're not doing an assessment because it takes a long time to do that, number one. And secondly, they don't want to find out what the real dangers will be. Because why wouldn't they do it? Why wouldn't they do it?
So this map they made 120 some individual applications.
Yeah.
So instead of applying for this as one project, they've broken it up into 120 individual pieces. And there's more coming because that's why the map hasn't gone to St. Paul and Elk Point. We didn't include that because they haven't applied for those segments yet.
These are the permits that have been applied for up to, there was a date on the bottom.
So if you want to oppose this, you have to fight 120 some individual applications. So what does that tell you about their willingness to engage the concerns of the people who are living here? I think that's pretty greasy myself.
And why aren't they in our community? Where's their office? why aren't they talking to councils? Why aren't they talking to the ag societies? Why aren't they showing up at our events? Where are they? Normally when a big company comes to town and they're doing something, they're present. They're in the community. You can talk to their office managers. You can talk to their staff. They're not here. We haven't seen them. They came, they gave us donuts, they gave us coffee. They rolled the map out. They talked about this technology and they got in their trucks and away they went and we haven't seen them since. That's not being part of a community.
Anyhow, yeah, so we're here. If you want to follow up, if you have questions, we're happy to advocate or be a resource for you. I think you guys will figure it out. You can see what the approach is going to be balanced. But yeah, our ask of county and town of St. Paul was to maybe do an environmental impact assessment because I mean, it would blow me away if that ever met the criteria, especially when Australia banned theirs. But I mean, at a bare minimum, how could you do this and not at least ask for that? I mean, that's just, I think, the minimal that we deserve. And then if you guys are fired up about it, like some of us, then, whatever you could do at whatever level you're comfortable with. But I think it's going to take a lot of pushback from a lot of people to really get their attention.
So if this is going to be the world's largest,
Yes,
about how many other projects like this are there?
it's nuts.
Oh, thousands, I think.
Well, tens of them for sure.
Not just in Canada.
Yeah,
I
all
think
over.
around the world. I've seen a world map with pins on it and there's hardly a space where there isn't something. Carbon capture has been happening at small scale for quite a while, but nothing near this scale. So the one that's got for two is, I think it's 10% of, is they're talking, the documents we got said 10 to 12 million ton per year. CBC was doing an interview on my way here and they were talking 16 million tons per year that they'll sequester.
And by 2040, they're talking 50 to 60 was what they told us.
How do you put that much stuff into the ground and not have some kind of ill effect? I don't know.
And it's happening here. There's a private company that has a private gas generator and they're privately injecting it. So I don't know how they got permission to inject on a private piece of land and they're meeting the standards. So reporting to the highest standards in the world. So it's all kind of already happening here. And my concern is that Scotford one that's causing all the earthquakes, that's small peanuts compared to this. And that's not even going as deep. That's oil EOR, enhanced oil recovery. So they're injecting that CO2 to push out more oil. So they're playing with those pressures there, but this is on a whole nother scale. I mean, it's hard to really wrap your brain around it. That's going to be small potatoes compared to this. And they've caused 4 earthquakes in the last month alone. And if nobody's measuring the groundwater quality and if nobody's measuring where it's leaking, how would you ever know?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We will.
And I should have nice flowers out front.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice flowers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have fun with the rest of your meeting.
Yeah.
It's always going to be good.
Push this around.
Hey. Can I get a motion to accept the delegation presentation?
I'll make that motion.
Favor? This carries. Agenda. Do you have any additions?
I have one.
Okay.
I'd like to put under closed session, C, MCC legal.
Okay. I would also like to add one. We didn't have a Canada Day meeting since our last council meeting, but we did have Canada Day. So I feel I should give an update. So under 11F, we'll add Canada Day. Anybody else have anything they'd like to ask? No? With that, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended? All in favor? That's carried. Okay, no public hearing. Minutes, approval of June 22nd, 2026, regular council meeting. And find, and I have a couple of things on page Monday, June 22nd. The delegation, resolution number 26-239. We do have board chair Bonnie Folklard. Is it okay to keep her there? She wasn't able to attend. Remove it. Okay. And then for the approval of regular council minutes, it says May 11th, but should that have been May 25th?
Actually supposed to be June 8th.
So this was our June 8th meeting. So resolution number 26-241.
Had been our June 8th meeting we were approving.
Yes. Oh, it's Monday. Okay, so then it should say June 8th. Okay. Anybody else note anything? Okay. With that, can I get a motion to approve the minutes as amended? All in favor? It's carried. Approval of the June 26th special council meeting. Notice. Can I get a motion to approve the June 26th? Wayne? All in favor? It's carried. And approval of the June 27th special council meeting. Hearing no errors, can I get a Jason to approve? All in favor? That is carried. Okay. So unfinished business. We have resolution 26-266, animal control bylaw, and resolution 26-277, personnel. Both those items, we need a motion to move into closed session.
I can make the motion.
For both, or do we have to do it individually?
Think we can, do we need individual?
I would just.
Individual, okay, can I get a motion to,
I'll make the motion for Resolution 26-266, move into closed session.
All in favor? That is carried. And a motion to move resolution 26-277 personnel interviews.
I can make a motion.
Yes. Sorry, you guys are close. Into session. On favor? That is carried. Okay. No CO2 pipelines Alberta presentation. Anybody have any comments regarding that?
Well, definitely bring up some concerns about the environmental portion of it and long-term concerns, which obviously nobody's really bringing that to light. So it's good to see that there are some aspects to that being put to the community.
On the news tonight, they just said it was coming forward.
Really? I didn't watch the news today. Okay.
Yeah, I think we should put it on our agenda for
John
the
Council.
John Council meeting and see what, I think the county.
Yeah.
And I think wrong with it and I think we should, have our input.
Definitely affects us, but if they're falling to the town, they're gonna have the biggest impact.
Mhm. Okay. Are you willing to make that motion, Dwayne, or can I
Yes.
get a motion, Dwayne? Active min. Add. Okay, all in favor? Carried. All right. Regional Joint Council meeting. Here.
That's just approval to attend.
On the 7th, yeah.
What time is it? I looked for the time and I couldn't find it.
5 o'clock, I believe, was
I believe it's 5.
at summer, the
Summer Village. The exact location to be determined.
I believe it was mentioned at our step meeting that possibly bringing lawn chairs for a s'mores cookout after the meeting.
Oh,
So if you're wanting to bring your lawn chairs, don't forget.
hey,
we need our sticks too.
I don't know, never said anything about sticks, just chairs.
okay. Right, so then can we get a motion to approve the attendance of council? All in favor? It's carried. Meeting with Municipal Affairs, July 20th.
St. Paul's
St. Paul.
County Council Chambers.
A meeting altogether?
No,
So what's happening is Jason, Sean and myself will be in St. Paul for the recreation agreement meeting.
Okay.
And so we need approval for you and Tim to join. We're only charging for the one meeting, but you guys, if you're able to attend, then would come in afterwards. So it's just getting approval.
Minister Williams is giving us a 10-minute slot, 15-minute slot, so.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I can.
that's it. 4 o'clock, right?
I'll make the motion. I don't know if I'll be able to make it, but if I can, I'll. Yeah, attend.
No, yeah. I do have I know we're not charging for the meeting, but I'm not quite convinced the wording of the motions properly, that way it sounds like it's only him and Dwayne attending.
But it says in the council approved the attendance of, just a minute, where did I read? The Minister of Municipal Affairs is meeting with communities and has scheduled a meeting with the town of Elk Point, County of St. Paul. I guess I see what you're saying.
It's again, a little bit of wording, but it's just if we're showing up there anyway,
Yeah.
it'd be just along with
I'll just make that motion as general then and not for just.
the council will.
Council
Is it with,
and you can decide whether you want to charge or not. That's your problem.
Okay. All right. To attend. All in favor? Carried. All right, so then the Regional Recreation Agreement Steering Committee. Okay, so this is the one that Jason and myself and Sean will be attending. This one, the Recreation Steering Committee meetings at 1:30.
That's the three of you.
Yeah,
Oh, and then this is for me and Tim to attend municipal affairs, and that's at 4:00.
yeah,
I won't go to that, you know, you guys will be ready.
okay.
Do you need a motion to approve you guys attending that committee meeting? Is that what we're looking for
That's
there?
what we're looking at here, yes.
That motion.
Okay. All in favor? Carried. Okay, Chief Administrative Officer and Department reports. You're up, Jay.
Who wants to hear more about the flooding?
how's the rubber boots holding up? How's the rubber boots holding up?
Thanks now.
But that,
You're headed for drought.
yeah, I hope so. My basement says I hope so. Yeah, just, you see some pictures there. That's what happened out of our blower station there. You can see the flooding we did experience out there. We normally never get flooding out there. Usually get, we have pumped it probably in this last month and a half. We have pumped it 4 more times to keep it away from the building, because as you can see on the next page there, we did lose our main breaker switch coming in there. It is low down to the floor. And we did experience a flood on the switch itself. The switch itself is a very expensive switch, $10,000 switch. So we were lucky to find one for $4,000. It was slightly used, so we're happy we got that guy working fine. Still experiencing flows in our sewer lines, probably triple of what we normally do. We're still experiencing that right now, sometimes quadruple when we get a rain. There's just no water going anywhere else but down in the ground and down the ditch. Yeah, we're still doing some cleanup, of course, lots of washed out alleys. We're experiencing, even in little rain like we got this weekend, the washouts in the industrial area. We're actually packing asphalt chunks into it now, trying to get it to stay there. We can't get anything to stay there. So we're bringing in asphalt chunks here today, trying to stiffen it up, hopefully get it to stay. One other thing, away from the flooding, we did cap the intake within the fish pond. We did still have an intake out there in the fish pond, which had begun kind of leaking through the reservoir pump inside the plant. And just something to get off the list before I leave here, I want to get a cap on that, because it does come through our clear wells. Yeah, up into the plant. So there is a connection point. There is a pipe running through the clear wells. And if that ever started leaking, fish pond got into clear wells, so it would be a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
So we did have divers come in. As you can see from the pictures there, we did have a guy walk down and actually cut off the line that was on there and cap the pipe. So no more issues. There is a valve for it, but the valve was seized. Did not get it flipped and switch it over. So now this is just a sleep at night kind of thing. We don't have to worry about that. Yeah, and just need to see, we helped out on the bridge with MCON there. We did give them a hand there with our camper and stuff there, and yeah.
Yeah, just mostly dealing with water these days, hoping to get to some concrete here if we ever get some nice weather. Got a lot of things on the list. We're way behind. We know we're way behind. Yeah, it's just been hard getting into alleys, potholes are crazy right now, and yeah, getting in to do anything else is kind of tough. Cleaning out a lot of catch basins and doing different things. Yeah, so that's kind of the cliff notes on it. If you have any questions?
I would assume, and I'm pretty sure you did it. Are you changing where that breaker is or that switch is?
Can't change what
Yeah.
it is. No, we have sandbagged it. Right?
Oh, okay.
Water away from it. Yeah, we can't change the location of it now. Now that's just where water storage comes in. And now is where it's at.
We've done some maintenance to it anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah. And you know, that's the only time I really got overwhelmed was that first rain. Ever since then, we make sure it doesn't get anywhere near it. But I didn't see the road coming up to it too.
Yeah, it's
flooded there right now. Do have some on the highway side, some sloughing of the ground too on the highway side. They lost their one line there, the tech line there. They lost it here the other day.
somebody mentioned that it was showing.
Yeah, and just to give the council here, it was up to where the ground is sloughing. I did talk with one about the one day where the ground is sloughing on the elevator road there. There's a water line that goes down there.
Oh, really?
That's right where that water line that goes to the golf course goes down that stretch right there. Hopefully it holds together. If it doesn't, be shutting it off. So it's right in that spot. It travels down that slope right there.
It goes through the kind of creek
It goes
and
down to the creek. Yeah, follows the gas line down and through there. Just to give you a heads up, that's right where it is.
I haven't seen that lately. Has anything been done there? We're just waiting.
Oh, no, nothing's been done there.
the county has other priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that is, yeah.
That's county road.
Well, it's kind of on our property too.
Yeah.
It's not all county. The county looks after it, but where the slough is could be determined it's on our property.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Without
Is that, I haven't been out there. Is it getting any worse? Is it holding its own?
Get worse. We were out there the other day. Is it just a question? Would that have been part of the issue with the reason why it's sloughed there?
I wouldn't say
Because of that?
I think it just gets a lot of water run down that area there.
Okay.
You could hear, I know when I looked at it here a week ago and after the rain, the water was just running like crazy down there, coming down that slope down there.
Right.
It was just so saturated and it just started giving way. It's like everywhere else, places like Bonneville, go out towards Bonneville, that road there.
Yep.
It's just eroding it away, softening it up. Yeah, I'd hate to think if we got a 70 or 80 km/h wind right now, how many trees would come over.
Oh, I bet it.
It's so saturated, them big spruce trees. It's all down.
We're on the river end of the day there and the amount of just trees with roots still attached to it. Cause all the rivers kind of collapsing too. Going down the rivers.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the bridge at Highway 41? Like I know they threw some gravel in there. Is that gonna hold or?
Well, they got some major work to do there. Yeah, but they don't plan on coming back till the fall to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's a temporary fix that's there right now.
There's other highways.
Is it you guys that are adding more sand and gravel? Did they come and do that one? Okay.
It's around there, are we?
Because yeah, the one day it was really bad and then the next time I went over, they've come and filled it in a little bit more, but yeah, it's still a speed bump for sure.
Yeah, they
I'd
want-
hate to lose access to that because that would really slow a lot of people down.
Yeah, they want to hold off till the fall.
Which is-
Yeah.
As long as you can hold to that and that's.
Yeah. Rest of the bridge is in pretty good. It's just that one side.
And so then that elevator road, then do we need to have conversations with the county as to what's happening there or?
I know Mayor and Kendra talked with the county one day on what they had to say about it, but there'll be more future ones on it. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Personally,
Jason tomorrow.
in my opinion, shut down.
They give up, they don't want to do anything on there.
Shut down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, you still have access up to your cemetery.
Right.
From north, south and keep that away.
Yeah. That's basically the only thing that's out there besides the elevator. Well, they have their access before the cemetery anyway.
See, the main use is as a walking trail.
Yeah, and you'd have to keep it as just a walking trail around there, yeah. Right now, like our concern is that water line, it's a 2-inch water line that runs down there.
Right.
You know. So it's pretty tough stuff, that black poly, but.
Yeah.
Might hold, might not.
Thanks. All right, anybody else have? Oh, do we need to remind people that when garbage day, because E360 is now doing garbage when it falls on a Wednesday, if it's a holiday? We'll remind them all year long that it becomes Thursday,
Yeah, there's only one other time that it lands on that.
Wednesday.
Time it's spoken.
Every year will change.
Perfect. Anybody other comments? No? Okay, we can do the animal control. And then do a motion. Straightforward.
Where in my report, update on the euthanization of the dog.
Owners have arranged.
Yeah, it's done now. So.
All right, with no other questions or comments, can I get a motion to accept the Manager of Operations and Animal Control Officer report? Sean? All in favor? It's carried. Okay, Recreation and Communication report. Well, it is out there now. We have received a resignation from our communication person. She will be with us. You want to do that, Mayor?
Until July 31st, she'll be with us. And we have our picnics in parks. Our picnics in parks started off as a wash of rain. We have partnered with Co-op, have community volunteers. Jane lead this event every second Saturday. Invite. Anyone and if you want to join us for a community picnic, municipality families are required to bring their own lunch. However, we supply games, bubble and frozen treat for everyone. The first picnic had to get cancelled due to rain, and we can only keep our fingers crossed for better weather moving forward. We had our Lemonade Day, June 13th. For the first time in my known history, the Elk Point had 3 stands competing for the award. And then the next one is Canada Day. The Canada Committee had last planning meeting on Wednesday, June 17th. And it is past, we already know this. Canada Day is already happened, and that overall event was a success, and dark race, rodeo, excel throwing, and axing of rival brand, and bingo was there. Chili cook-off was another success event, and over 200 people attended. I don't think this is important. Chili cook-off. Really good price, $2 she appreciate Saturday this year was not ideal for all municipality groups because no municipality attended other,
And ours,
yeah, town of Elcoin. But still, the fire department volunteers and one of our staff has that day. Regular day, it was a regular day for him, and he attended.
okay. Can I get a motion to accept the tourism and recreation report?
I can make the motion.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, no finances this time. Committee minutes and reports. Regional Fire and Area Board.
And we had a regional board meeting at the beginning of June. One of the benefits of excess rain, their bush fire season was almost next to none, so it did save a lot of our working hours from our fire department, but it's still a concern on the other side. We did ratify a little bit more with the new rescue truck that was purchased, so we had more discussion on that, and it was actually a very, very quick meeting on the all extent. They do have the new Jaws of Life in operation, which is good, and yeah, anything after that? I think that was pretty much it. Hey, Tim?
Yeah, that was the quickest meeting I think we've had with fire board since we started, so it was good.
You're welcome.
The foundation.
Well,
Been a while.
yeah, it's been a bit.
We're out next week.
We got through the groundbreaking. As far as anything new and upcoming, I think that's the biggest thing is just keeping things rolling.
And hiring.
And hiring still the new CAO now. Bridget is staying on with us for now for helping through the construction, which I think the construction people are very happy about because it's not something you can just throw somebody in and not have background knowledge, so they're appreciative of it. But
So then are you pausing hiring or are you actively?
we're actively still seeking. I don't know, I believe information has gone out again to try to look for.
No, not yet, because we haven't decided.
Oh, yes, how we're gonna do it this time. Yep. That'll probably come up in the meeting here, not next week,
The
week
week
after.
after, yes.
Okay. Step.
So this was this is June 11th, so we just finished having another one, so I think I had talked a little bit about what was going on that previous meeting before, so. Always something that we're trying to go with. I mean, the RS rural renewal stream, I'll just go that way because I can never pronounce the words. So this was the beginning of the next step. So we went through and endorsed who we had, those that were already in the system, re-endorsing that kind of stuff. So nothing really new. I think we might have had 2 new endorsements where it's for local businesses within Elk Point. I think there was 2 that were submitted. Again, we're not sure how far this will go. In the last meeting, it was just brought up again that if other communities aren't doing this, if they've backed off completely, there may be opportunities for our area to gain more endorsement letters as far as that goes. But we're still waiting to see what's going to happen with that, if that does get passed on. And we're still looking at utilities projects and stuff like that. Going through there again, it's trying to work on the same things that we're all working on within the Northeast region, trying to find ways to better access utilities and strengthen our positioning. So Linda, as always, has provided an updated list there. So if there's a question on there that I can either provide some information on or find what more on, but I think it's pretty straightforward with her explanations and stuff like that. She does a good job.
Okay. All right, Northeast Media Corps.
Our meeting last week here, a few things. We're having our annual trail ride on August 12th. It's open to all members of council, of all the councils involved. It's gonna start at Wasatna and end at St. Paul. If anybody's interested to join up, feel free. What else did we do? In Heinsberg, we drew up an agreement, sort of a draft. It's a draft agreement right now because there's a lot of people involved at the very end of the trail there. There's a little bigger chunk of land. The county's got land there. Staging area has land. The Heinsberg Community League has land there, and Riverland has, Unicor has, so they drew up an agreement to be signed between all the organizations and who looks after what this and that. With some of the, like the Heinsberg group is getting less active than they have been and stuff like that. So we got that looked after. That'll be signed next month here. And that's about it, other than the trail isn't in very good shape between more time. So it's a lot of, it's terrible. Closed sections are closed, but people are still going through and it's not easy to handle. But we'll see when the dust settles there, how we're gonna get it fixed. We have a contractor to use part of the trail to pump water out of the river. Strathcona. They pump very good pump it. And they can't even access the trail, pumping water, and they got flooded after there, so. Always something going on there. That's about it.
Okay. Alberta Hub.
Well, we had our annual general meeting on June 24th. It's pretty much just got new directors put into place. There's actually a new chair, Robert Snow out of Vermilion. He's the mayor there. So Gerald Alberts he stepped down. He's had that term many years. So now there's a new chair in that position. And they just ratified the financial reports and the ongoing process of the concern that the Alberta government's not supporting all the RETAs, and what's that going to look like over the next 3 or 4 years. We're still fighting that battle and advocating for it. So, yeah. All I have.
Okay. All right, Canada Day. Oh, weather gods were on our side for a change. Overall, it was a great day. Well, it was a day and a half. We started our celebrations on June 30th. We had Moonshine Hot Rod did a wonderful job with the soapbox derby. There was lots of excitement, lots of kids, some past people that had come and some new people. So it was great to see. They had a very even ball game from what I hear. Some years it's a little one-sided, but this year it was only a 2-run difference. So we had a great turnout for the ball game. And then of course we had karaoke with Crazy Jane inside the arena with beer gardens, and then our fireworks at 11, which I think we received some very, very positive feedback regarding those. And then Canada Day itself started out with a great turnout for the pancake breakfast. Our numbers were down a little bit. We only served about 550 pancakes this year. Last year was almost 700, so it was down. I don't know if it's because it was middle of the week. It changed things or not, but
That would be my guess, is that
yeah,
that Wednesday, a lot of people don't have the extra days off, so.
yeah. Is this
I did call for moisture that morning and we never got
never
it.
got
I
it?
think I might have scared some people off too.
Yeah. Because this year we were actually done serving and it was 10:15. That never happens. Usually we're panicking because some have to get to the parade and there's still a lineup, to the corner. But anyway, it was, thank you to the Friends of the Library for doing that and all the volunteers that helped out. Thank you to the council members that came, that were able to help. Lakeland Realty did their free ice cream and drink as well. I think they had water, not with the juice or water. And they had quite a lineup, so thank you to them. Co-op hosted their charity barbecue, and this year, they told me who their, oh no, I'm blank. Who helped them? It was kids. We'll get that clarified. The charity co-op helped the charity barbecue, and the proceeds did go to a local organization. The parade started at 11 o'clock. I heard some positive feedback about the parade. There was people all the way. Lots of times it's a lot of people downtown, but there's parade people all along the parade route, which was nice to see. Started at the Eco Center and worked our way all the way back. And then we had the Two Divas, One Rant were asked to MC the event, and this year they did. Unfortunately, one of the divas was unavailable, so we had one diva, and I apologetically called him a dud, but it was one diva and one dude. Brian Petra helped out Terry Hampson as MCs, and they did a great job, so thank you to them. We had Atomic Improv, which was some stand-up comedy as one act. We had line dancing by Dance Impressions with Ryan out of Vermilion. And then we had a dog agility as our three main stage showcases. And then behind the arena, we had a family challenge about 4:30. We had up the Canada Day grounds, we had the Clat family petting zoo. We had the Elk Point Fire Department's always successful annual junior firefighter challenge. We had axe throwing both for adults and youth. We had a log pillow fight. We had the Zorb balls for young kids and youth. We had a big bouncy house penny carnival and the High Striker graciously hosted by the Lions. We had glitter tattoos. We had face painting. We had balloon characters. We had Ferguson Flats hosted a bingo inside the arena, along with our vendor mini market. I didn't get a chance to go around and check out all the vendors, but when I did get there to get the cake, it looked like they were all busy. What else did we have? Yeah, we had food vendors, we had PS Catering, Slam Dunk Snacks, Pork and Pickle, Hanger Management, and Monkey Waisus Ice Cream. Talked to all of them and they all said they had a great day. The Elk Point and District Lions hosted the River Duck Race. 200 ducks were raced. They retrieved all 200 ducks.
I have no duck left behind.
And I did not win. My duck did not win. And I don't recall the name of the winner.
It was, we gave three, top three
Right.
prizes and there was like, because I knew you were gonna ask that question. One, a license, I believe was first place, Tana Dion, and then Stefan Gomez. So it was good. It was very.
I had four. My husband had two. I had two. So they were all lame ducks. But that's okay. It goes to a good cause. And then the CG Baker Riding Arena hosted a family rodeo as well as a ranch scramble, which I heard were well attended. I did not get there. I powered out. And the Allied Arts hosted a pierogi supper, followed by a family jamboree. And when I went for pierogies, the hall was fairly full. So I'm hearing between 250 and 300. I'm not exactly sure what the number was, but everybody enjoyed it. And then FCSS closed off the night with the Free Family movie featuring Hoppers. So I want to thank all of the sponsors, all the volunteers. These events don't go off without lots of effort. And And I do want to thank the weather gods because it's always nicer when the weather cooperates. So it was a great day. And of course, we'll always look at making improvements, taking feedback from the community to see what we do for next year. So yes, thank you to everybody. And thank you to Public Works, because I know it's a big ask of them. But they do a great job helping us get organized and ready. So thank you for that, Jay. Great. Can I get a motion to approve the committee minutes and reports, please? All in favor? Carried. Oh, correspondence and information. You want to go through those, Mia?
We received a message from the Deputy Minister, Jonah Mojeson, regarding the Bill 28, for the change of Library Act. And with this act, the adult books and the minor books to be separated so that minor could not get access to this here. And that's needed some organization inside the library and to need some of their time and also maybe some capital purchase. Is not a big capital, maybe some barricades, locks and key, this kind of thing. Go to the next one. Then MOP. We receive a rejection letter from the MOP grant due to the grant is not providing this year. When we apply for this grant, this time they didn't provide funding for the treated water reservoir, but they advise us to apply again so that it might consider. And
Was that very much a surprise? Were we expecting to get it, or was it very much in question?
Well, this is the second time that we've applied. And we did hold back, but I thought we held back the year before. That we were wanting, because of the industry that we did not get, it wasn't as crucial for us to get. But I was thinking that when we applied again, that it would go through. So I think maybe this time we need to be a little louder.
MP actually submit on our behalf because they will do the project. They told that they will sit with us again to identify how it will be more.
Plead our case more.
Yeah. And by November 30th, we can apply again.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions, comments regarding either? Okay, can I get a motion to receive the correspondence and information as Jason. All in favor? It's carried. Okay, we got some acknowledgements. All right, so I want to start by thanking Community Futures for putting on and organizing the Lemonade Day again on June 13th. This was an opportunity for young entrepreneurs to learn about planning, setting up and running a small business. Thank you to the businesses that worked with the participants and allowed them to rent space. Without the commitment and dedication of Community Futures, this event wouldn't be possible. So thank you again. Thank you to all the judges and the community members that supported our young entrepreneurs. And thank you to the families that put their time and effort into creating these lemonade stands for the kids. Thank you to the Elk Point Riding Arena for hosting another ABRA Barrel Jackpot on June 9th. These events are always busy events that showcase the skills of riders, young and old. It takes many volunteers to have them run smoothly. So thank you all for your dedication. June 18th, the Elk Point Riding Arena also played host for the Stony Lake Wild West Family Rodeo. And due to unforeseen and unfriendly outdoor weather, the event had to go inside. So thank you, Stony Lake Campground, for organizing the events that brought community members together to participate in the event and to enjoy watching these rodeo events. Thank you to Donna Hodgkinson and Tanya Hicks for organizing and hosting another Living Well event in the series, focusing on awareness, action, and advocacy. Thank you to the Elk Point Coffee Club for hosting that event on 19th. This series has provided participants with valuable opportunity to come together, to learn, to share experiences and engage. June 15th, FCSS held another event giving youth an opportunity to create something meaningful for dads. We realize how important FCS is to our community and thank them for their dedication to offering events and promoting engagement by our residents in these events. FCSS also organized a fraud awareness workshop on June 16th, which gave our community members the opportunity to learn about recognizing, trying to avoid, and how to respond to the increase of scams and fraud. This is unfortunately on the rise, so we are thankful to the FCSS for increasing awareness on this topic. And this was done in collaboration with the Wise Owl program and the RCMP. So thank you to all. The Wildflower Way once again held a Grief Circle event on June 16th, which is an opportunity for people to come together and share, listen, and heal through conversation and moral support as they navigate through grief. This was held at the Elk Point Coffee Club. So thank you for that. Thank you to the Elk Point Golf Course for hosting their Father's Day event on June 21st. They hosted a Father's Day golf special, half price golf for dads and granddads, and offered a hole-in-one burger special. If I remember correctly, Father's Day was actually a beautiful day, so I'm sure many memories were made. Thank you to FCSS for organizing and hosting the ice cream in the park on June 22nd. It was an opportunity to celebrate the end of school year and kick off summer. So they served just under 100 people. Congratulations to the Elk Point and District Lions for hosting yet another successful Walleye Classic, June 26th and 27th. While the weather may not have been all that great, I do know that fishermen will persevere through anything. And thank you to all the Lions and volunteers that contributed to another successful event. Once again, thank you to the Elk Point Riding Arena for hosting the June 25th ABR Barrel Jackpot. Again, this jackpot was planned to be outside, but shockingly, the weather did not cooperate and had to be moved indoors. These events take a lot of volunteers to run, indoors or outdoors, and we are grateful to have the people to be able to bring the participants to our facilities for these events. Thank you to the FCSS for organizing the senior pop-up, which gave an opportunity for our seniors to connect and learn new skills. This pop-up focused on cognitive health and was very well attended. So they will be doing more pop-ups in the near future. And Heritage Lodge hosted another ice cream social event in Sale, which creates an opportunity for socialization and community engagement while enjoying an ice cream treat. And thank you once again for the Elk Point Riding Arena for agreeing to host the Stony Lake Community Association Family Rodeo. Weather again was not working in their favor. They would like to have it outside, but they had to move it to indoors. So thank you for all the partnerships to be able to see the success of these plans come through. So thank you to everybody. All right. There's a lot. Can I get a motion to receive these as information, Dwayne? All in favor? Carried. Right. With that, can I get a motion to go into closed session? Sean? At 7:45. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Good evening, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. At 8:22, Dwayne made a motion to come out of closed session. We just have a few motions to make regarding resolution number 26-266, bylaw 898/24, animal control. And I get a motion to receive this as information. Sean? All in favor? Carried. And resolution number 26-277, personnel interviews chief administrative officer. Can I get a motion? Do we have to do a counted?
Unanimous consent.
Oh, bylaw. Okay. A motion to approve the CAO contract as presented. Reading 1, 2, all of them?
Just passed by unanimous.
We just all have to go out the way.
Okay, so then we're gonna count.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, so Jason made the motion. All in favor? That is unanimous. And item C, MCC legal. We need a motion to direct the administration to reach out for clarification. All in favor?